have bbeen well trained.
No.
You don't have to carry a sword to be powerful.
I won't fail you.
Oh, do not.
I'm not afraid.
Please don't try.
Alright, welcome back to the Chance Cube Open, the pre-Worlds tournament taking place at the hotel, or the Radisson Hotel. We are going to watch Mads playing against Alex. Mads playing another eRey deck, and Alex playing Rainbow Hero vehicles. Alex choosing his own battlefield, Mads putting the shields, of course, on Rey. Mads, he's my guy from the Your Destiny podcast. He's my co-host there. So I'm going to wish him the best of luck here. Putting an upgrade down on eAayla. That's the 4 speed right there. The Ezra special is going to force Mads to spend his resource immediately, putting down the heirloom lightsaber on Rey. Upgraded quite well already. Let's see if Alex, he can ramp fast and put down a lot of vehicles. The eAayla is going to show a resource and a 2 melee side. That Ezra special is sitting really nicely there because it will force. I mean, you can't grab resources now, so it's going to be interesting to see if Mads, he can play around it. He does have a decent roll on eAayla though, with 2 eAayla specials and a 4 speed special. 2 melee into Rey, removing the shields, not going to have that damage from the Rey activation. Yeah, that's 4 actions right there. No, it's 2 actions. Yeah, no, sorry, it's 4 actions using the eAayla special to flip the eAayla die. The second action is close quarter 3, stripping the hand. Wow, that's a power play from Mads, stripping the hand of Alex, removing every single vehicle, killing Ezra in the process. Wow, what a start from Mads. That is an amazing round. Being able to kill Ezra, it's such an important thing against Rainbow vehicles, because it also means that you turn off a lot of their mitigation. No more easy pickings, no entangles. The into the garbage chute becomes so much worse, having to use either Rose or eAayla. That was probably the best possible start that Mads could be asking for. At least Alex managed to get down his C3PO before losing his entire hand to the close quarter assault. CQAs are just so bonkers right now. That is also one of the turning points, or that is one of the gravitation points of the Rey eAayla deck. 2 things. The fact that they can play profitable connections, that they can ramp fast, and the CQAs and the consistency of the deck. Wow, this is by far the best start that Mads could be hoping for. I don't think that Alex had seen that one coming. Dealing more damage with Rose, putting 2 damage into Rey. Alex, he is fighting an uphill battle here. He is far behind right now. The 2 4 speeds on eAayla, the heirloom lightsaber. Let's see if Mads, he can draw into a Shoto here, and then Mads, he is flush. Alex, he's looking to get his first proper support down. He does have his C3PO. C3PO with eAayla can be really good. He can use C3PO on eAayla's 2 melee sides, on the 2 indirect damage side, to generate resources, to be able to ramp into resources, getting his vehicles down. Mads, he wants to activate eAayla as fast as possible, getting her dice into the pool, seeing if he can hit those eAayla specials. There's a 1 focus showing a special and a 4 speed and a special and eAayla. He has 3 resources, so he does sit with another CQA in his hand. It could prove to be another blowout round for Mads if he can obliterate the hand of Alex again. Let's see. Yeah, that's the shoulder. Wow, Mass, he has got such a good start, killing off Ezra in the first round, CQAing out every single card in Alex's hand. First round play, and he sits there with another CQA going into the second round. This is really difficult for Alex right now.
This is what I get for talking to people in the lobby between rounds. I miss out on, what is this, Rayla?
Yeah, eAayla playing against Rainbow Hero Vehicles. Mass, he got the best start to his first round, killing Ezra, managing to pick out almost every card from Alex's hand. No vehicles down, only C3PO played in the first round by Alex. This is an amazing round.
Yeah, that glare on those cards is awful. I can't see anything.
But now, look, now Mass, he's showing another 3 melee sides and he has a CQA in his hand. Alex is not getting back into this game. I don't see him this. And I was just talking about Sugi, how powerful CQA is in the current meta. I mean, the sort of return of CQA as a staple in decks playing sticks, it's really, I mean, it's such a blowout card. The ability to simply just obliterate your opponent's turn by picking out his cards, that's...
I think it's funny. Last year at Worlds, that was also a card people were afraid of. It wasn't meta-defining in the way it is now, but that was definitely a card people were very concerned about because there were significantly less options. So the good ones you had in your hand, if you lost them, you were just really hurting. So it's really funny that when Awakenings was out last year at Worlds, CQA was a threat. This year, CQA is still a threat, and it should always be a threat because that card is just super freaking good.
Massey's just rolling into damage. He'll be able.
Man, this guy's rolling the nuts. Like the literal nuts. He's just like, here, my dice, they're really good. Your dice, don't care.
Alex must be fuming right now. I think he feels that he's been a bit unlucky, and Mass being able to roll into sticks, being able to get his CQAs off, and then in the 2 first rounds, these are so vital for Alex to be able to ramp, to be able to get his vehicles down. He is so far behind right now.
Yeah, with 6 on rows, it's not impossible, but it is rough.
An Interceptor and C3PO to show for his efforts right now.
Wow, I mean, don't count him out, but that's going to be tough, especially with easy pickings turned off.
Yeah. Easy pickings, if he's playing entangles, into the garbage chutes becomes so much worse right now. There's a lot of powerful mitigation usually used in 3 white decks that are much worse. So he's pitching to rerolls into 2 melee sides.
But he still has that focus, so he could potentially kill Rose here and
but
just...
there's also an eAayla special showing.
Yeah, there is an eAayla special showing.
So there's a bit of mitigation. Alex, he will be hoping to keep that on the table as long as possible. So Massey just takes the damage he can, and then he'll be looking to kill off Rose next turn. Let's see. Right now, there's a one damage showing. He kept the heirloom lightsaber on the table. Yeah, he's just dealing it. That could be a kill on Rose on activation next turn.
Yeah, that's going to be...
Did Alex wait for too long with the eAayla?
I don't know why he didn't use the eAayla die.
So
I guess we'll just... Oh, he flipped into 2 indirect?
Now he's just trying to see what he can get and deal damage.
2...
But 2 indirect is not going to...
No, because when you have multiple triggers, you can prioritize them as you choose. It's good that the shield's on Rose, but the problem is, with an activation on Rey, you put a shield on Rey, and then you ping the shield off with her special, and then if you roll any damage, now you have to mitigate. Like, the double CQA is so clutch. Oh, here we go. Rey's
lightsaber.
Ooh.
And that's essentially a kill. He's going to remove a shield.
He's going to remove a shield and then kill. Yep.
Yeah. So that's a kill on Rose.
Unless Alex has some way. That's it. That's game.
Wow, that was such a fast game. This is probably eAayla at its worst and best.
Well, I mean, we have some time to kill, so let's talk about a couple of things. CQA is, it's just crazy because, I mean, I missed the first round. How many cards did he get out in round 1?
I think he got 3 out in the first round. After having played a C3PO, he managed to get 3 cards out the first round, 3 cards the second round as well.
So that means on turn 1 he reduced the hand to 1 card.
Yeah.
Because he played a card,
He played C3.
lost 3, so he's sitting on 1.
Yeah.
Then the next round he draws up to 5 and loses an additional 3. That's just so painful for vehicle players because the vehicles are coming from hand.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of their damage essentially comes from the hand, and being able to turn that off is just not only impactful, but early game is the most impactful because the longer those vehicles are on the table, the longer the damage sustains out through the course of the game.
And then on top of that, obviously for Alex to lose Ezra in the first round, that is really a big swing because in Rainbow Vehicles decks you do play with some of the most powerful mitigation out there, but when you don't have Ezra around, you're basically having most of your mitigation turned off. Wow, that was I think that when we see rotation and we see cards like CQA out of the game, I also think that we are going to see a lot of really interesting developments already now in Trilogy's decks. I think that we're seeing some really interesting decks being formed with some of the new characters coming in, with new Luke coming in.
Yeah. Yeah, CQA isn't nearly as good because he just has a bunch of shield sides. So without his Lightning Rod upgrade, CQA isn't nearly as threatening, but you can still pair him with other characters that have sticks. I don't think CQA is ever going to not see play.
No. But I do feel that it was out of the meta for a while. We didn't see it as prevalent as we do now. And it is because eAayla is so dominant right now, and we have Baba Seven's sister that also utilizes CQAs, and that does it really well.
Well, what really pushed CQA, I believe, to be relevant was you had a lot of decks that began to play tricks out of hand.
Yeah.
The meta shifted from damage on the table to damage out of hand with combo pieces, burn spells, all kinds of this, that, and the other. And the best way to deal with that was either mill or use counter hand tricks, which would be CQA or Friends in Low.
Yeah.
And Friends in Low only gets 1. Thrawn only gets 1. So it's okay. Like, you can get 1 card out, but then people start to see, I can pressure damage on the table. If they don't do anything about it, I can then take cards out of your hand. Then I can resolve that damage because I probably took your mitigation out. So it's like a win-win-win because now you have to deal with so many things on so many fronts. And there isn't really a card that does that right now. Like, there's no card that says, if you show like resources, take that many cards out of someone's hand. Because resources aren't threatening. Damage is threatening.
Yeah. I also think that in this particular matchup, CQAs are much harder on vehicle decks than almost any other deck type out there, because vehicles deck, they keep their cards in hand for so long because they are looking to ramp into resources, and then they play them quite late in the round. They also want to play around their opponent's mitigation, not wanting to have their vehicles big damage size mitigated, so they will keep it as long as possible. So you have a lot of chances. Mask got to roll out both of his characters with Alex still sitting with a lot of cards in his hand, and it was all of them the best cards that he had, namely the vehicles. It was, that really destroyed those 2 CQAs. They really destroyed the 2 first turns of Alex. It was a major blow to the game plan, and I think that Alex, he just couldn't see any way out of that.
Yeah. Now, you've played against eRayla, correct?
Yeah.
So in this instance, what do you recommend doing? Because losing Ezra really early just hurts. Losing cards out of your hand hurts, but it's never really over until it's over. No. What is your plan of attack to get out of that situation?
I think that you really need to make sure that he doesn't get his upgrades spread out, and you need to make sure, because when you're playing a vehicles deck, most of your damage, it will be indirect damage. So you need to make sure that the meat shield is gone. You need to take down a character. If you can use your big indirect damage sides, if you're lucky to get a resistance bomber down, use the big indirect damage sides, using the C3PO as direct damage, and simply combat one of the characters. Focus eAayla down, removing those 10 health is really it's really vital to your game plan, because then suddenly all the indirect damage sides, and they are huge indirect damage sides, all your Y-wing specials, they essentially become direct damage. And that, I think, is really, because the moment you can just split out damage on 2 characters, it's going to take you a while. It's not going on till late round 3, round 4, when you have enough vehicles down to sort of to have enough volume of damage that you will be able to combat 2 characters effectively. So I really think that if Alex were to come back in that game, he needed to have a big vehicle down. He needed to show big damage size and use the C-3PO to direct that damage on one character.
Yep. Well, that was the match. That was really quick. So
you had a chat. You came back, and then the match was done.
I know. I was talking to friends out in the corridors, and then I come back. I'm like, okay, we're in round 2 or 3. Oh, it's over. Oh my gosh, what happened? Apparently somebody just god rolled, so
yeah, that was brutal.
There's not much you can do about that. That's Destiny. But I mean, it's not much different from like Magic. Have you played Magic before?
Yeah, just a bit, but that was way back before it became.
So like the mana long, mana flood, like when you just draw mana, it's like, well, I lost the game. There's nothing I can do. Like there's nothing I can do.
That's also the game of Destiny once in a while. It's brutal. It's unfair. It can feel that way at least, but that's also what makes the game enjoyable. I think that you can get out of a pinch, you can get it back into a game simply by guard rolling.
A lot of decision tree matrices too that help. Like, it pushes you as a player because nothing in this game is linear. Like, linearly, you are trying to win the game, but it's never just cut and dry. Like, oh, I roll damage. Okay, resolve damage. Keep going. Like, it's like, well, I resolve some resources and a focus, and I have this card in my hand. And you have to kind of Tetris puzzle piece all of these different symbols and values together to form a winning game plan, which I think is really, really brilliant about Destiny. It makes it such a remarkable game because I love Magic. But there are very simplistic and like linear decks. Like red deck wins. You just play red cards, you tap them, they attack. That's it. Like you just burn them, you attack with creatures. There's not much more to it because it's just a bunch of creatures, and that's literally it. Like Destiny, even the most aggro deck, like you still have to make impactful decisions. It's very rare you just sit down, activate your guys, resolve dice, go to the next round. Like you have to make strategic, impactful decisions with resource balancing, damage, shields, all that good stuff. So this was a blowout game.
That was a blowout game.
But the game before was not a blowout game. That was a very good game.
It really shows sort of the variance within the game of Destiny, right? You can have these prolonged right up until the end time is called. Decisions are being made until the last second of the game, and then you have these kind of games where it's just immense blowouts. Okay, you've been watching the Chance Cube Open. We are done with round 4.
Here at the Radisson at Roseville.
And my name is Klaus.
My name is Sugi.
And we'll be joining you for commentary on round 5 shortly.
Absolutely. Thank you for watching, everybody. We'll see you in a little bit.
See you in a bit.